Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ambassador Black, you said earlier that, excuse me, that it's important to you to be accurate with your customers. And surely the most important customer for intelligence information would be the President of the United States. And we've had this dialogue today about the PDB of August. And I'm curious, what steps do you have in place or that are taken to make sure of the accuracy of information that your people receive from outside of the CIA?
There's an elaborate vetting process. Information is received, raw intelligence is received. It comes into personnel that review it, that do the analysis function. And there are those that write articles for numerous publications, including the PDB. This particular employee was home-based in the Directorate of Intelligence and was serving in the Counterterrorism Center. So the raw reports are received. We attempt to estimate the needs of our customer and write products that meet their needs.
But what do you do to check the accuracy of information that comes from outside of your own ambit?
Questions are asked. I believe, I have not spoken to the author of this particular piece, but I understand that this officer was in contact with the FBI. In this instance, I think the assumption would be that the FBI would have confidence in the information that it provided.
I just have one more technical question for you. CTC, is it part of CIA or is it part of DCI?
Yes, sir. It's called the Counterterrorism Center.
Yes.
And as the former director of the Counterterrorism Center, I reported to the Director of Central Intelligence, but also to the Deputy Director for Operations on a dotted line, as well as a dotted line to the Deputy Director of Intelligence. It's one of these unfortunate jobs where you have lots of bosses and you get lots of advice.
Okay, I understand. Now, you've also spoken about resources very eloquently and the lack of resources, I guess. If you didn't have enough resources, did you ask Director Tennant to allocate or reallocate funds from lower priorities?
Yes, he was aware of our resource needs, and he did. We were the first among equals of all his highest priorities. He did shift resources to us. In fact, when I arrived in the Counterterrorism Center, I believe that we'd had a plus of approximately 100 personnel. We regularly discussed this. We were the recipient of significant support in comparison to the type of support that he was able to provide to other units. My point here being is that the Director of Central Intelligence did a heroic job with what was available, and certainly in comparison to the other competing interests. My point here is that I think, as we've discussed today, is that this is a very large, formidable target, and that we needed to devote more resources to it than the base of the Central Intelligence Agency had.
I understand that this isn't your final decision, but from where you're sitting,
yes,
is the problem in the intelligence community, is the problem in the OMB, or is the problem in Congress as far as limited funding?
I think from my perspective it would be all of the above and probably more.
Mr. Pickard, the time that now Director Mueller took over from you, and you were the acting director, did you brief him?
During the summer of 2001, I called Director Mueller, first off to congratulate him on being appointed the director and offering my support, and told him I'd serve in whatever capacity he wanted me to. I also advised him that I would be retiring by the end of the year. I asked him for what kind of briefings he would want, because he was going to not report till September. And as has been reported in the press, he was having some surgery. He asked that I not brief him on any kind of classified material because he did not feel he would be able to securely maintain it that summer. When he reported in on September 4th and was sworn in by the Attorney General, that whole week I had set up a series of briefings on classified information for him and also emergency procedures, everything from in the event of nuclear war to how to call out the hostage rescue team and other things like that that the director I felt needed to know as soon as possible upon his arrival.
I see the red light is on, but just may I ask you, is there a written record of the briefings, or is there written agendas or things like that that you could supply to the commission and its staff for studying to see what you covered?
Yeah, I did not participate in those briefings with the director. The assistant directors of each of the divisions, counterintelligence and counterterrorism, did those briefings, and I will ask the FBI to see if they can find those briefings.
And just as an aside, I noted that you were the 6th deputy director in 8 years, and then you left at the end of that. So it must be a tough job.
I'm proud to say I held the record. I lasted 2 years.
Jeez.